Hello, 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 and welcome, everybody. If you didn't know, I am your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. This is the Neoncaster Twitch channel, and we are back with another glorious day of Phantom Arts Fest. We have another two delightful, maybe even delightfully terrifying sessions to bring to you today. We are opening with Delta Green, run by the one and only Juicy Garland. Say hello, Juicy. Ooh, I cannot hear you. Hold on a moment.
Hello, hello, hello.
There we go. I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Hello?
Yes, hi.
Good. Yeah, everything's working. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Juicy Garland, a Boston area drag queen and super nerd. I am super excited to be here, to be your handler today.
Nice. Hey, I said this would be a spooky stream. Tech issues are spooky. Okay, moving on. We're going to go from the top to the bottom. Emma, hello. New to the channel. Welcome.
Yes, hello. My name is Emma. I am a voice actress and TTRPG content creator with my podcast network Tabletop Tailspinners, and I'm super excited to be here for my first Phantom Arts Fest and first time playing Delta Green. So you all get to watch me stumble through a new system today.
No, me too. Juicy ran Delta Green last year, which I helped produce but wasn't a player in, and I am actually super excited to be a player. We've played with Juicy a handful of times, but this is my first time actually with Juicy as a GM and me playing, so I'm hype. Moving on, we have the one and only Lala. Welcome for the first time to the channel.
Hi, my name's Lala, and this is also my here with CD Green doing Phantom Arts Fest. So hello.
Hello, welcome.
I'm excitable, and I just am really excited to be here today and get to play.
Heck yeah. We also have so many new firsts, actually. Super excited to meet so many new players. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome, Abby.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm Abby, or Abby Marie Carter. This is my first time with Phantom Arts Festival. This is my first time playing with Nathan. This is my first time playing Delta Green. Though I have played with Emma and Juicy before, this is also my first time playing with Lala, and I'm super excited.
Heck yes. Okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to go and let the credits scroll of all the assets and tunes and stuff we have put together. I'm going to put on something a little bit jauntier, at least for this moment here. We've got the smooth jams on, but while we're still getting warmed up, Juicy, why don't you tell everybody what Delta Green is and is about as a piece of tone?
Yes, so Delta Green is really a modern, weird, and strange horror game that became really an offshoot of Call of Cthulhu somewhere along the 90s. And it became its own game, I think, in 2017. There was a Kickstarter ages ago, and books were released, and around 2017, and it is a D100 style system, very similar to Call of Cthulhu. And it is a meet or roll under system where you have a bunch of skills that are assigned to you based on your profession and your core abilities, and you are forced to face the unnatural in a bunch of circumstances. Delta Green itself within the world is a secret organization that lives just under the surface of the American government that is a conspiracy, and throughout time since its inception back in, I believe, the 1920s, it has been both official and unofficial, and at our current present time it is somewhere between the two. Some people call it the program, some people are not part of the program and live outside of the rule of law, and we're not sure where we are today, and we will be taking place, or our story will be taking place in New York City in roughly the present day. And I am really excited to be exposing our friends here as agents in Delta Green to the horrors I have prepared for them.
Marvelous. I'm ready to have terrible things happen to the character that I'm playing.
Yes.
In terms of a little bit of tech, oh, yes, I'll go over tech and then we'll go over any kind of like content warnings you might have just in advance. But yes, I'm going to be handling DJing for this session today. So Juicy, do let me know if you need a specific tone, a specific angle, and then we'll do my best with the tracks that I have queued up to supply. Are there any content warnings our viewers should be aware of for the session today?
Yeah, so this is going to be a horror game, which means that there will be scenes with possible claustrophobia. We may be exposed to body horror, is what I'm hoping to do. Other than that, lots of weird and strange horror. There will be some violence. I don't think we will cross any typical lines and veils that people will usually see, but we will definitely be exposed to some horrific and creepy scenarios and experiences and sensations.
Marvelous. Well, with that out of the way, let's go and move ourselves over to the game footage. Okay. So how are we opening on this one, Juicy? What's the vibe?
Yes. Well, the vibe right now, I think, is vaguely police procedural, because all of our agents will be receiving some sort of low-key missive telling them they're being called to a mission. So let us open to each agent quickly. Abby, who is your agent, and what is their code name?
Yes, my agent, her name is Katarina Fallon. She goes by Kat most of the time. And her agent name is Agent Seagal.
Agent Seagal, how did you end up in Delta Green?
I was originally a translator and then a foreign service officer after graduating college. And while serving as a foreign service officer and a diplomat sort of type person, I encountered strange things a lot. And then all of a sudden it came to a head, and there was a fellow foreign service officer of mine who was clearly not of this world. And I took it upon myself to take care of them in a not so great way. But took care of that threat, and Delta Green saw that and saw how I kept my mouth shut about it, and then recruited me.
And how long have you been in Delta Green?
I think I've been in Delta Green, say like 2 years. So still sort of new, but I know the ropes enough.
Okay. And next on my screen, Lala. Who is your agent? What is their code name? And how did they end up in Delta Green? Oh, you're muted.
I cannot hear you.
Okay.
It's just adding to the suspense.
Can you hear
yes,
me now?
now we can hear you. Yes.
Sorry. Okay. So my character or agent is Concordia Valeska Hawk, but she prefers to go by Vale. Her code name is Agent Shade, and she works for the CIA as an intelligence analyst. And she's been in Delta Green for probably 4 years at this point, and she was recruited by Delta Green honestly after they abducted her, because when she was training as a new CIA recruit, they went to this like off-site, really secretive place, and Concordia had been able to see this building that she shouldn't have been able to see, and she'd actually been having dreams about this building since she was a child, and that set off a lot of red flags for Delta Green. So they monitored her, they abducted her, and after determining that she was just a normal human, nothing suspicious, they recruited her to be an agent. So, and that's her.
Okay. Emma, what about you?
Yes. So my agent is Agent Springer, or Sophie Harrison is her real name. She is a college student and volunteer EMT who was recruited by Delta Green because she witnessed a supernatural phenomenon when she was a child, which led to the death of her family. Her therapist, who she did not know at the time was a member of Delta Green, talked her through it, and she spent many years trying to rationalize what had happened. But when she had decided to go to college and major in forensic science to figure out a way to prevent crimes from happening to other people, was later told by said therapist that no, you weren't imagining things. This is really what happened, and was from there recruited into Delta Green.
Okay. And Nathan.
Yes, I will be playing one Martina Wandsworth, agent name Agent Summer, a British member of Delta Green, having previously worked as a detective inspector in London. A particular murder case resolved to have a supernatural kind of element to it. And as a result, she started seeing the same murder victim multiple times throughout different cases. The same person murdered again and again and again. That got the attention of the UK's equivalent of Delta Green, Pisces. It's an acronym. What the acronym stands for is very, very much classified. But despite Martina being very competent at what she does, her team saw fit to need to get rid of her and have transferred her overseas to the US. After all, Delta Green are notorious for either you work within what Delta Green needs of you, or you disappear. And either way, Pisces isn't going to be seeing her again.
Okay. So each of you finds some sort of message or missive in your own secret little way, letting you know that you have to either take a train or plane and get over to New York City to a location, a meeting place at some low-rent hotel just outside of Manhattan to meet on the next Tuesday with an Agent Svensson, who will be your handler for the next mission.
Agent Svensson.
So, if we can take to roll 20, I will load up your shitty hotel meeting room.
Oh boy.
Exciting.
Let me zoom out. Oh.
Yup. So, who do we think arrives first to New York?
Into New York.
Yeah.
I like the idea that that is actually where Summer is currently operating. She is currently living local in an apartment that would be way too expensive, but mercifully Delta Green is kind of, offsetting a degree of the cost, so she can kind of operate out of this space. She's never been to this particular hotel, motel, Holiday Inn before, and is already kind of like wrinkling her nose at the sight of it.
It's so
Definitely
old it
covered
still
in
smells of
ink.
cigarettes from 40 years ago.
Probably older than that, even. I feel dirty even being next to this. Gross.
So, let's say everyone gets there, and eventually, Agent Svensson does arrive. And she is a powerhouse, certainly. Let's see, how do I don't know if we can, oh, there she is. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we see her.
Yep. So, she is a woman who suffers no fools and has no time for anybody, carrying arms full of paperwork, probably for you. She'll sit down at the head of the table while all of you are waiting. Hello, thank you for meeting me here today. Are all of you prepared? Do all of you have what you need for the mission?
I think you kept some of the paperwork a little classified, so the finer details aren't in the dossier. But if you're asking if we're equipped, there is kind of a briefcase gently placed on a desk with so many cigarettes like burns in it and opened for a forensics kit inside. I'm ready, I suppose.
Okay, good. So, let's get down to brass tacks. I don't have a lot of time for you people today, so, here we go. So, there was a body reported with ritual markings. We're not sure what they are, but that's why you're here, to find these answers. So, here I have copies of the unofficial coroner's report. We have a friendly, several in fact, here in New York City, who report evidence of ritual activity we find in John and Jane Doe's. They escalate up to the program here, and she'll hand out to all of you copies of the unofficial report. A different report, as you would probably know, would be handed in to the coroner's office that would cover up the evidence of unnatural. But you, if you open them up, does anyone have a medical background at all?
Yes. So Sophie is or Agent Springer is a volunteer EMT. So it would give her limited medical background, but.
Any relevant skills you would like to roll?
Let me see here. I believe I have some skill in both first aid or forensics, so I'm not sure which one would apply more here.
Either one, whichever's better.
Let's go first aid then, because that's better.
Okay, great. So, roll D100.
Okay.
And is that your forensics roll, the 75? Oh.
No, I rolled first aid, and that's an 80 over 60, so that's a failure.
Okay. All right. If anyone else has forensics and would like to roll, feel free.
Everyone gets actually have forensics. It's worse than that first aid, but I'll take a crack.
Yeah, take a crack.
Oh no.
Oh, can we fumble reading a document?
Oh, a 99. So fumble. So I should explain rolls. So when you roll, you try to meet or get under your target, which is your skill value, right? If you roll doubles or a 1, that is a critical success. If you roll, and that's below, right? Doubles below or a 1. If you roll doubles above or a 100, that is a critical fail. In this case, there's no negative consequence really for a fumble, but say you had a physical challenge, you might hurt yourself. So here, you don't get any extra information. What you can see is a body that was recovered about 2 days after it may have been dumped. There is no identifying information on the body. You'll get nothing more than the coroner provided, which is it appears as though there were some sort of inscriptions written by a blade on the body all over the chest. Those inscriptions were done by a practiced hand, but they were not done in a recognizable language. There is a blunt stab wound in the chest at the heart, approximately an inch long by a half-inch wide by a diamond-shaped blade that goes through the heart. The blade does appear to be pointed. Additionally, during autopsy, a small serpentine green marble sphere was recovered from the stab wound.
Placed inside the wound.
Yes, placed inside the wound. Let me go back to my notes, because I don't just want to go off of memory, and I want to make sure I give you all the details there were. That does appear to be it. Yeah, the stab wound was approximately 6 inches deep, so it went through the heart. And that happened at the time of death. The inscription markings happened within hours of death, before death, not after. Additionally, the Agent Svensson will pull out a small metal box with inscriptions on it and slide it over to, let's say, Agent Springer. Why not? Be careful about that. Keep it closed as often as you can. The weird stones in there, you can use that and examine it if you prefer. We would like you to either return that at the end of the mission or destroy it as you see fit. Just confirm whichever it is by the time you're finished.
Understood.
Additionally, there's another piece of information I have for you, and she will slide over a much smaller manila envelope to Springer again. Do you open it up?
Yes, she'll open up the envelope.
Yeah, this here is just a simple set of instructions for a meeting location, with additional instructions for what looks like some sort of strange ritual. This here is meeting instructions for a contact for the program. I must stress to all of you that this contact is of incredible strategic importance for the program here in New York City, and it is of utmost importance, and I cannot stress this enough, that you do not fuck this up.
Upon hearing that,
has been of incredible strategic importance, like I said, to the program, and this contact has offered information that they say they have related to this case and potentially the source of the unnatural related activity ongoing related to the murder. So we are sending you down to go talk to the contact. This may be a challenge, but all of you have some form of unnatural background or exposure, and we expect you will be able to handle this. But do not, and I repeat, do not mess this up.
In the kind of meeting information, does that give much of it? Do we get much of an impression of who this kind of person is? Because I'd rather
Absolutely
check before
nothing.
asking. Okay, in that case, we'll
roll
ask.
a humint.
That is
Yeah,
actually
anybody can roll a human.
Summer's best skill. So let's
Well.
pray.
I was going to say earlier that Sophie, hearing that it was of utmost importance, would have immediately passed it over to Agent Summer. Like, no question.
Sure. She looks at you with very kind of cold eyes. Thank you, Springer. And gives it a read through. A 28, which is under my 60.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna check something real quick, and I'm gonna roll a D100. Oh, okay.
Very much the alpha and the
Agent
omega
Benson-
there, huh?
Wow. Wait, why did that add +1? I don't know why that did that. Anyways, 99. Agent Svensson doesn't know much, but she's nervous. And her aggressive front is her being nervous and not really knowing what else to do.
Trying to put up a wall about it. So,
Yep.
The contact. Is there anything that we
Yes.
need to know about them? Are they a slow eyebrow raise? Difficult.
Difficult is not the word I would use. Strange is probably a better word. The only advice I can probably give you is to do your best to keep you cool. And under no circumstances should you panic.
Another Wednesday on the job then. Got it.
Good luck. You might need it.
Do any of you have any questions, by the way? Agent Shade, Cigar.
Not at the moment.
No, not yet.
Let's go get coffee and donuts before we do our job then. We need to find some joy wherever we can get it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, do you have any other questions before I go?
If
And she barely gives you enough time to respond, but if you do have any questions, please ask.
if one of us should encounter a hostile after speaking to our contact, what's the protocol?
I suppose don't die and get out of there.
And I have a question related to the sphere. You said it might be dangerous to keep it out for extended periods of time. Is there any sort of limit on how long we can examine it before it needs to go back in the box?
No clue.
Wonderful. We'll figure it out.
Yes. I don't have any additional information. No one gave us any information, and that was just found. So unfortunately, there's no additional information to provide.
Understood.
We just do know it could possibly be dangerous, given that it was related to a natural activity. But it was better to provide it to you as you're investigating than to leave it somewhere random.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. And to clarify, the goal of the mission is to meet with the contact, extract the information you need, and then to get out, and then go identify the source of the murders and end them.
Of course. That's
Sounds easy enough.
what Delta Green is good at, huh?
Most of the time.
Summer.
Anything else?
Summer gets up from the table.
Okay, then. Good luck.
Thank
You'll need
you.
it. And then she'll stand up and walk out.
I will be the first to leave this meeting. Turning to the rest of the group. I think we're really gonna need that coffee.
Let's get some, and then I really want to look at that stone.
Oh, she will walk back in. Sorry, one more thing, and then she'll pull like out of her bra a contact card and then hand it to Summer. In case you need to reach me, don't. But in case, if a requisition for guns or something, you'll probably need that after the contact. Bye, and then she'll rush out.
The door slams. Bye. Okay. I assume we're going to hit fast forward past the obtaining of coffee and donuts, unless a heavy machinery roll is required for that. But
I'm sure
yeah.
we'll just walk down to the corner bodega.
Yeah, I would just like to note that Kat would definitely be the last one out of the room. And she's making I'd be making a conscious effort to not allow anyone behind me. And as we're walking, I definitely keep checking behind my shoulder, things like that, looking around. Any small noise definitely makes her jump ever so slightly. And that's all things you would definitely start to be noticing the longer you spend with me.
Officially on edge.
Good. Like that. All right. So, if you look at the instructions, you will see that to get to your meeting point with the contact, you actually have to go down first to a subway station.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to do before you head down? Because it doesn't actually give you a specific meeting time, weirdly. It just says go.
So, Shade, when we have coffee and donuts, Shade wants to pop out the tiniest computer you've ever seen and start typing furiously, trying to find out any information about those ritual markings that she can.
Okay. Give me an... Let's see. Yeah, give me a computer science roll.
Okay. That's a failure.
Okay. So you don't really find anything. You find like some conspiracy theory websites, but they don't really go anywhere. So it's not as helpful as you wish it were. Does anyone else want to look anything up quickly before you like move on? There was that weird note in the instructions for the contact on a ritual you had to perform. Were you curious about?
Sure. Let's go and give that a summary read before we go into the tube station. I'm gonna keep calling it the British term for that, which I think is probably now just going to be a character trait of Agent Summer rather than me remembering what the New York term for it is.
That is fine. Yeah. So it looks like you were going to go down to the subway station. You're going to find an access tunnel, and then it's vague on the descriptions, but you're going to go on for some time, and it just says to keep walking. Don't take any turns until you come to a door. And then it says that the door will explain everything. Make sure your hands are clean before you do it. And bring some band-aids.
Okay. Funnily enough, and it's not what the role is for, I'm sure, but I do apparently have a 50 in pharmacy. So, hey, let's go do a light shopping for some hand sanitizer and plasters, I guess, before we do the thing.
Yeah, one of the fun little things about Delta Green is when you have a high score in something, some things are just automatic. I'm just going to say you're smart enough to have a first aid kit.
Sure. Oh, we've
bag.
established the forensics briefcase. So yeah, there's a first aid kit in there.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm sure as the volunteer EMT, Springer would also be carrying just some basics with her in case anything were to happen.
Is anyone here good at like casing the joint, like investigating the streets around an area? I guess it's probably going to be if we in the kind of autopsy report, if we know where the body is found, we're probably going to have to look at that at some point. That doesn't necessarily have to be now, but also seeing what is around the subway station stop, what part of town that is, might be relevant. And if there's any kind of interesting gossip around that space, that might be useful to gather. Although my skills are not as great at that, so I'll let other people take point if they want to.
I'm not good at like casing the joint or something, but I am relatively charming, although I'm a bit odd because of the the paranoia that I definitely clearly exhibit all the time. And I'm very persuasive. I have a very high percentage in persuade. So I can help talk to people. I also know several languages. So that's where my skills lie, but I couldn't help us like navigate or find.
I mean,
I could just help us talk to people.
Fishing for rumors in the area, I think, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I can do that potentially. At some point when we do that.
Sure. If you want to hold fire on investigating around now, does anybody else want to grab anything? I assume somebody else has a torch. I've done enough Dungeons and Dragons crawls before to know that a lantern is required to not die. So,
I mean, I have a flashlight on my phone.
Perfect.
I love that you think it matters. It's
hey,
so cute.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's not concerning at all.
All right, let's
I'm
this
in
folk sound
danger.
up a bit. Let's change the vibe. Let's get creepy.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So-
yeah. Take it away. I'll kick something in.
All right. So we're gonna go up to 86th Street, and we're gonna go down into the subway, and you're gonna go down into the station and find an access point door, and it's unlocked. What do you do?
let's take a look at our 6 right now. We don't want to just go through a door and then have somebody see us do it. Would that be an alertness roll?
Yes.
All right. Oh, just to check. We have a bit that has a modifier. Under what circumstances do we get bonuses to our roll?
So
any.
if the environment is challenging or you're hurt, you might get minus 20. Or if the circumstances make it easier for you, you might get a plus 20, which makes it easier.
For now, we'll just do this roll flat, but good to know that it can be better.
Yep. And I have conditions where you can make things easier for yourself that I've already pre-written.
58 over 50. Rip.
So close.
All right, everything seems fine. Just fine.
If we're ready.
I don't know why you're worried.
I think before we go in, we had talked about like looking around the subway specifically beforehand. I do have a bit of a high search skill, so I'm gonna search and see if there's anything that we need to be paying attention to before we head in.
Sure.
All right. Let's see here.
Ooh.
I also am searching, and I got a 1 over under 40.
Oh yeah, you did.
And I also succeeded, so
Damn. Y'all did
Okay.
real well.
So, while there's nothing really unusual about the subway station or the area around it, the door itself is a little weird. And it's a little weird because it looks like it was built at a different time than the subway station.
Is there a way I can tell when the door was built relative to the subway station?
Do you have, let's see, let's look at the skills list and see. Just do you have art as a skill, or like art or architecture?
No, I have history.
History I would take.
Okay.
I also have history.
Failure. Yeah, no, I got a 76 over 50, so
I could give the history roll a shot if,
Give it a shot.
yeah, like if our information is shared with me.
Oh, there we go. Just.
Yeah, barely a success, but it is a
Yeah.
success.
So what I'm going to say is, you know that this station was refurbished in the last 20 years, and that door looks a bit older. Like it should have been replaced.
Okay.
It's weird that it wasn't.
I'll
Is there
definitely
anyone-
go ahead.
is there anyone in the subway station other than us? Like,
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, so there are people around.
does it appear that anyone else notices the door?
I mean, it's an access door, so no one cares about it. It's New York; they don't care about anything.
Okay.
They also
But it's
probably
just
don't
about,
find
like-
that this is weird either, that we're just standing around this access door.
I have a feeling our little group makes a bit of a strange sight if we were anywhere other than New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in
As,
New York, like,
as a quick question, how is everybody dressed? Martina is wearing what would be the cut of an agency suit, but it's dark purple. Like it's kind of non-standard wear. She just looks like she looks like she interns at a very fancy like fashion magazine. I think is the kind of energy of the suit that she's wearing.
Shade is wearing pretty much similar to what I'm wearing on stream. It's like a white cardigan. Her grandmother probably made it, and like some dark wash skinny jeans. Pretty normal, typical. Not for an agent, just normal, typical. New York human.
Hey, always good to dress incognito.
Sophie is very much sporting the look of your typical like college kid. So like she's dressed up, but it's more kind of like again what I'm wearing, like comfy sweater and jeans. She's got the very typical like bun of a college student. She's got blonde hair though, so it's kind of like up in like a little blonde bun, carrying her coffee from the coffee shop that we stopped at. Probably looks very inconspicuous.
Kat definitely looks like a businesswoman. It might look like a tad out of place for New York. She's from DC, because that is where like the State Department is, and that's who she works for. So she very much so like blazer, matching suit pants, blouse underneath her blazer, a pair of loafers that are comfortable for walking, that sort of thing. She looks like a diplomat or a businesswoman for sure. So not super out of place in New York, but her style definitely is 100% more DC.
All right. So, let's go in, 5 minutes apart, so we're not all going in at the same time. Just wait on the other side of the door for the rest of us. Do you want to go last again, Seagal?
Yes.
Excellent. Summer goes through the door.
Excellent.
Jade will wait not 5 minutes, maybe like 2, and then follow.
Sophie will kill some time on her phone and then slip through the door as well.
I'll wait probably longer, which is like instead of like 5 minutes, like 6 minutes. And before I go in, I'll probably send a quick text to my girlfriend, and then be looking inconspicuous on my phone, but also use it as an opportunity to touch base with her, and then slip through the door. Definitely looking like behind me and around as I do.
All right. As the door shuts, there's a slam behind you, and the air feels heavy. But nothing changes yet. And as you walk, you realize that the angle or the pitch of the path is going downward, and it keeps going and going and going, and you realize that you are so far underground that there is no way anyone built this. The tunnel is long and meandering, and it takes far more time than you thought it would, and you start to lose track of how long it's been. You're not sure if you've taken any turns anymore, or whether or not you've had to duck under a pipe or 10, or whether it's been 10 minutes or 100. It couldn't have been that long though, right? Does anyone have survival?
A very small amount.
Yeah, not above the standard 10%.
Yeah.
All right.
Same.
What's your closest approximation if you don't have survival?
Of kind of, navigating our space, navigating within a dark space like this.
Yeah, if you have navigation, that would be an appropriate skill. I take military science. Pitch me your best for knowing where you are, how long it's been, what you're doing.
Okay. I would probably go for an alertness on this. Keeping an active track of the sounds that we hear in the space, how many other people there are moving with us, and so on and so forth. But there's probably somebody who has a raise on that. I have alertness 50, if anything has anything more appropriate and better.
I like that argument. I will accept it.
Okay. We will proceed with the alertness 50.
You're going to need the help, so I'll be nice.
A 14, an actual number. We succeed.
All right, I want everyone to be rolling something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
As far as related things, I would also probably go with alertness, though I only have 40, or if you would allow me the search again, as if I'm more actively looking for landmarks showing how far we've traveled after a period of time, realizing how long and far down this tunnel is.
search is a less good fit. Search is when you're looking for something specific.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go
So
with
that's-
alertness then.
Okay, yeah, alertness did make sense. So yeah, give me alertness.
Alrighty.
I also went with alertness, and I failed. I got a 40 over 20.
Okay,
There's a success. 29 over 40.
okay.
I might just end up going with alertness because I don't think I have anything that would fit. I can try and make an argument for history again or anthropology. And why I say anthropology is because it's the study of human societies and cultures and their differences. And because of the nature of being a Delta Green agent, that would apply
That's
in the
less
sense of.
applicable than you think it is right now.
Yeah. But I was like, I don't think I can make an argument for anything I have. And I'm
Roll
not
that
good at
alertness.
alertness. Yeah. Hey, never know if you don't try, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Was that a fail?
95, yeah.
It's a 95 over 20.
Okay.
I also think that like the longer this goes on, the more paranoid I'm definitely getting.
Oh, yeah. If anyone has any disorders that might be triggered here, speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I would give you, that would impact your skill checks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
paranoid personality disorder, so
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's definitely being triggered currently.
So things are changing a little bit. The tunnels are Ooh, this should have. Oop, hold on, I need to change the layer we're on quick because the background did not fit
Cool.
to the window. I apologize for that.
It's
There we
all
go.
good. Oh, there we go. Heck
So
yeah.
things start to look a little weird in the tunnel. And your vision starts to get a little fuzzy. The textures start to get a little off. Your senses start to get a little off as well. The light is shifting and the temperature will change from hot and cold. Things get damp. Things go cold and numb. It's hard to stay focused in this glowering ambiance. Is the hallway breathing? Does this even count as a hallway? So, roll me alertness again, but at minus 20 from
Mhm.
exhaustion.
Alertness with modifier minus 20%.
Oh no.
We still do it with a 2, though.
I failed again.
I'm definitely gonna fail.
I was
Minus
surprisingly close,
Mm.
but nope.
20. That was less bad than the first time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because it's a 33, because the numbers match. That's
That's a fumble.
Oh no.
Oh geez, why is my little tracker here being weird? Oh gee whiz. Sorry, I have a tracker for reasons that you don't get to know yet,
Mm-hmm.
but that's fine.
I don't like that.
Okay.
We love that.
Yeah.
No, we
You'll find
don't.
out. Don't you worry, your pretty little heads. All right. And then Well, you've gone so far and tried so hard, and the tunnel changes again. And it gets darker, and the textures get rougher, and well, the space is now visibly changing in real time, and your mind is being pushed to its limits. It feels as though the walls are alive. They would digest you if it mattered. But there's little nutrition in you, or the flesh in your body to the world. Little meaning is there in your sacrifice. By the way, Agent Seagal, how is your most important bond today?
Uh, I'm
Who is your most
assuming.
important bond?
My most important bond is my girlfriend.
Your most important bond is your girlfriend? What's her name?
Her name is Jax, or their name is Jax. They use she, her pronouns. She, they pronouns. I imagine I left them in DC the night before to come up for this meeting. And I think my work makes things difficult, and I think my disorder makes things difficult, and I would like to say that maybe we're not in the greatest place right now, which is why I decided to send them a text before I stepped into this creepy ass tunnel.
Ah, okay. Agent Shade, who is your most important bond, and why are you thinking about them right now?
My most important bond is Serbine, my cat. I'm a very sad person.
Aw.
I'm probably thinking about how just this morning before going to the meeting that I had been enjoying sitting on my couch, drinking a cup of coffee, not my first cup of the day, with Serbine on my lap, and how he had been purring extra hard as if he was trying to tell me how much he loved me that morning.
Love that. Agent Summer, who is your most important bond?
Oh, sorry, that is me. Apologies. My most important bond is one Detective Islington, my mentor from back home in the UK, who taught me everything that I know, that kind of instilled in me the idea that solving mysteries can bring solace to people. And weirdly enough, being involved in supernatural investigation has only proved that more and more true. And if that belief wavered, it would be very difficult to keep doing this job. Why solve mysteries that don't help people? And yet, because he has a mundane background and isn't part of Pisces or Delta Green, all that I have learned since about the nature of investigation, I can never tell him.
Okay. And Agent Springer, what about you?
My most important bond would probably be my best friend from school, who I think, though she can't tell anything about Delta Green or all these things that she's come across, they share a very similar goal in different purposes. They would both be forensic science majors and looking to join their careers to stop other people from suffering. And though, like I said, she can't necessarily say anything about her internship, she would probably also be out on her internship with an actual police agency doing real lawful, solving actual crimes in the mundane world, and be telling her all about it, which she would find enjoyable.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks for that ammunition, everybody. I love it. Great job. So, while you're all reminded of the most important people in your lives, and you're thinking about how deep underground you are, compressed by all that earth, all that air, all of that weirdness, as everything is going so strange, can you all please make a sanity check?
Mhm.
Are you ever
Oh.
going to see these people again?
Ooh, critical.
Oh, golly.
I got a failure.
The one thing I didn't want to fail.
Hmm.
All right. Oh, that's alertness. Okay. Great. So anyone who succeeds and anyone who got a critical success in this case will take the minimum damage, which is
Okay.
2 sand damage.
Mhm.
Anyone who fails is going to do 1d6.
2 sanity damage.
This is a whole lot to take just after your morning coffee.
Mhm.
Mm.
2's good.
Two's real good. I'll take 2. I'll take 2.
Yikes. I got 4.
At least it's not 5.
Mhm.
Summer kind of is weirdly holding her coat quite tight, like she's cold, as she continues to kind of press forward, heels clacking against the metal of the rails of this endless train track. Of course, we're all just meat at the end of it all. I don't need to be reminded.
Did
So-
everyone roll sand damage? Or sand?
Everybody who failed,
Nice.
2 of us succeeded.
Oh,
I succeeded.
oh,
so.
sorry. I misread. Okay, great. Good. So no 5. So we don't have to worry about a mental break. Awesome.
So if you lose 5 in one go, that's something
Yes.
happens. Okay.
Yeah, to explain for the audience and all of you, if you've never played, if you lose 5 in one go, you end up having a brief period of insanity. And what that means is you will choose between light, fight, or freeze, and you will roll to see which one you do, and you will basically lose control, and one of those will be the result, and you will either break out in violence, you will flee, or you will freeze. And for a few minutes, that will be the result of your actions for the time, and then you will recover. And then if your sanity goes past your breaking point, which is the BP in your stats list, you will end up developing another disorder or a new disorder, and that will replace one of the motivations on your character sheet.
Hmm.
And
Can I
we'll
ask
talk
a
about
quick-
that when it happens.
Can I ask a quick clarification question about sanity? So when I created my character sheet, like maximum versus current, it auto-populates your current amount of sanity points for you.
When you start, yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah,
and your max, yeah.
Okay, cool. I might very quickly become insane. We'll see.
And fun little thing is you just rolled because of sanity due to helplessness. So for all of you who failed sand, took damage, you can now check off one of the sanity due to helplessness boxes. And if you get 3, you then become resistant to sanity due to helplessness.
That's cool.
Mm.
I
And
need
did anyone
sanity due to
actually-
violence.
Yes.
I'm resistant to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Right.
as I'm thinking about Mr. Bean, sorry, and going slightly insane about maybe never seeing him again, if I take out my phone, do I still have cell phone service down here?
Oh no. No.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. But as you're walking, enjoy that. As you're walking, there's very little light. It's very, very dark. You come to, finally, a door.
Yes.
And on the door, there is a sharp blade with a rivulet underneath it. And that rivulet carries down to a small little bowl.
I suppose this was the ritual that was mentioned in the note. I was not expecting to have to do a blood sacrifice today. Hey. She kind of turns to take a look at everybody else. How are you all doing? We've trained for this, but I figured I should check in.
Just another Tuesday.
Agent Springer looks kind of nervous, but she does sort of pipe up. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Agent Seagal's definitely looking slightly agitated, but only like minimally more than she already was. But the paranoia does seem to be channeling itself in some
Still bubbling away.
some type of agitation currently.
We can hit rewind
So-
on this if this is a no, Agent Springer. But Summer turns to you. Hey, EMT, are you in a position to cut yourself in a way that isn't going to give you sepsis?
And she considers the blade and looks and is like, I mean, I'll do my best. And Will, using sort of her EMT knowledge, find the best place to.
Before you do that, other than this being obviously a blood sacrifice, is there anything else I can tell about the knife and the collection, or anything special about this ritual that might indicate something other than the obvious slice your hand on the blade?
I mean, if you look closely at it, there's a small hole in the bottom of the bowl. It looks like it will just suck up the blood once it's full. There's really nothing more that it's asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget to sanitize your hands first.
Yeah, we have the disinfectant handy when you're ready.
And she is going to sanitize the blade first, as well, before finding the best place that won't A, make her bleed out in any significant fashion, and B, will be easiest for them to clean and for her to sort of she's seen enough on the job that she could probably stitch herself up no problem and just make the incision.
Okay. So you cut yourself and you let the blood drip, and it flows down the channel and fills the tiny bowl. And once it gets to fill the rim, there's a noise. And then it's slurped up and the bowl empties. And then there's a hum inside the door. And a mechanical clinking and an industrial thunk. And then the door begins to swing. And it's opened. And the room behind it is visible. And it is dark, but you can walk in.
Good
What do you do?
I have you on the next one, right? You need a beer afterwards. I have you in exchange.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Also,
And-
mark 1 damage on your character sheet.
Will do.
Let's push it to one of the. Or,
As she's
I-
just no hesitation placing gauze, wrapping up her arm. It wasn't deep enough that she needed stitches, but it's treating
Sucks.
herself immediately.
Yeah. How I mean, the artwork gives primo dusty room, dusty study energy, but
Yes. So, if you go in, I assume you do, you walk into a room that has very little light. The objects inside are barely visible. It's not sure where the light is even coming from, but what you can just make out in front of you is a room full of furniture And yes, it is very dusty. The air is very still, and it's almost like it's soundproofed somehow. And what you can just make out is like antique furniture in a big space. And just in front of you is a desk. And you can almost see a human figure outlined in the shadow behind it, waiting. Hello.
Like a light
You've arrived.
switch.
Hello.
Yeah. Summer immediately kind of changes demeanor, like her body posture fully changes. Oh goodness. Good afternoon. I hope you're well. We've come to have a chat with you. You have a very interesting front door.
Yes. Thank you. I've been waiting. I'd say some time, but it passes strangely here.
Yes.
How was the journey?
Well, it gave us lots to think about, as Agent Summer says, with a very wide and what the rest of the team know, a very fake smile. But it usually works when we have to deal with civilians a lot of the time. It must be difficult for you to get groceries down here.
We make do. Thankfully to your organization, we have the help we need. Thus the agreement. We've asked you to come down because we are aware that you have found a body, and we are usually the ones to do that. These bodies, I mean. And we have information that you might need. And I should describe this person. You see, just in the light, an incredibly tall, bizarrely thin and proportioned person whose skin is a little too loose on their bones. I would like everyone to make an alertness check.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make a note.
Oh, go Sophie.
Yeah, no.
I also failed.
Apparently, alertness is one of the few things I can succeed in.
Hey, you gotta find the successes where you can.
Mm-hmm.
So, failure. So, okay, wonderful. Agent Springer, first, I do want you to note that in the distance, there is a strange meeping sound coming through that, like, almost soundproofed softness of the air. But what you note is that the skin on this figure looks like a people costume. Can you roll San?
Yes, I can.
Congratulations, you've won.
No.
You won Delta Green.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Yay! We were warned before we came down here to keep our cool, so.
Yep, that's why it's only 1 sand damage right now.
Oh joy. Getting ever closer to that breaking point.
So, Agent Summer pulls a chair from like the desk, and a big cloud of dust kind of like comes up as she places down the briefcase and removes the autopsy report. You said that you're usually the kind of person to be finding these particular corpses in this neck of the woods. That's fascinating.
Yes. we are often the ones to find bodies. And usually we're the ones to handle them for Delta Green. We dispose of them for them. And as a result, we usually end up finding the ones like this that we can't tolerate. And as a result, we usually discard the bodies, but we have kept the objects. We know they would interest you. So, given time is funny here, we have kept them for you, knowing it would be helpful. Yes.
Okay.
So,
But you're not taking care of the bodies this time.
no, we can't tolerate these bodies. They've touched the stones.
There's a glance to Agent
Let me
Shade.
show you.
Sure.
One moment. I'll show you. And then with an oddly graceful motion. Oh, I apologize. My name is Franklin. But let me show you. And Franklin will, in a very oddly graceful motion, reach a long arm over, down, and with one hand pick up a human corpse and just sort of arm it over to a table. And you'll notice it's the body of a woman. Alertness?
Okay.
From everyone.
I assume so.
Great.
Oh,
I love
we're all
that.
succeeding
I love
now.
that for all of you.
Great.
Oh, this I wanted you for this one. Weird thing
Oh,
about
no.
this body. This body is dressed like it's from 1966. Funny that, huh? So can I get a SAN? Because that body has been dead for what, 60 years? But it's relatively fresh.
Interesting.
So if I failed the alertness, if I fumbled the alertness check,
We're keeping this together.
does that mean anything?
Oh boy.
It means
Oh
you
yeah, you
super
don't you
notice.
don't notice. You're just baffled about the odd pickup of a human corpse with one hand.
Yeah, I also think that with my being a foreign service officer with the languages, their language, I would be really, really stuck on the way that this creature is talking.
This
Their
real human
language is-
person.
Yeah, the real, totally real person.
Yeah. So
Sophie can
anyone
deal
I'd
with
be stuck
the-
on their language.
anyone who notices how old this body is without being, just a skeleton, and fails the SAN, take 1d4. Anyone who succeeds the SAN, take 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. This we just found. And here, let me show you. I hate this. And just using a finger, it's going to point a finger at the chest, and an incision is going to appear as it runs the finger along the chest. And then it's going to put on a long glove and grab a pair of tongs off to the side and reach into the chest cavity and pull out a small sphere of serpentine green marble in the darkness and just put it into a little cup and then hand the cup. Who's closest?
I don't know if I was closest, but I think Shade would move forward, take the cup, because she wants to see it very badly.
Here. For you.
Thank you.
Anyways, we find these bodies and we can't work with them. So, we keep the objects knowing your organization would use them. So, we have evidence you might find useful. So, if you would follow me one moment, and it will take the table, which apparently has wheels, and roll it over to the wall and like open up a cooler door and just roll it in and shut the door. Yes.
So, if I may ask a question,
Yes.
you said that you recently found that body. What condition did you necessarily find it in? Because that seems to be a very...
Like this.
It seems very fresh and yet shouldn't be.
Let's not dwell
Precise.
on that specifically, Agent Summer says, realizing that there is literally only madness lies down that road. Could you perhaps tell us where you found that body?
Oh, along the Hudson.
Right.
Oh, we have a map. Yes, one moment. Ha! Remind us. Franklin will scuttle behind the desk. One moment, and go through like drawers. Here. And here is a map with dots that they will hand you. And each dot will have a neatly arranged list of dates for approximately the last 100 years. Back to 1930.
Okay. There
Is
may
it
all
safe to
around-
assume-
Oh, no. Sorry, what?
As I'm looking at the map, I'm gonna ask. It's safe to assume then that these all indicate bodies that had these stones inside.
Yes, among other objects. Hundreds and hundreds of bodies over that time. None of them useful. So it's been quite a burden, and we knew you would need them. So we've kept all of the objects and gotten rid of the waste. So we can show you where the objects are for your use.
Before you take us on the home tour, do you mind if we take a glance at the body that you just showed us? We just need to confirm.
Yes. Yes, of course. Here. It's not very bright in here for your eyes.
We have some light sources. If you're used to low light, you might want to glance the other way while we're working.
Yes. I shall step back.
In Sotto, like under the voice of the rest of the team, this is going to be your opportunity to see if any of the, well, I don't know, characters engraved line up. If they're going to be the same as in the photo, yada yada. It might have been a different ritual. We need to confirm.
I'll definitely step up to the body to kind of do that with my language background. I think I'd be interested in seeing if these characters or markings
A mechanics
if they
question.
match.
Are there teamwork roles in this game? If both of us, if multiple people are kind of like working on studying something, is there a bonus given that way?
Yeah, so if you collaborate, I can give you a plus 20 to the roll.
Because I guess
What are we rolling?
I'm not quite sure if it's statistically
this-
better for everybody to roll or for one person to roll plus 20, but might be the
Yeah,
way.
so what are you trying to do? Tell me that. What do you want to accomplish?
I figure it's worth confirming if this body has been ritually engraved in the same fashion as the one that we have in our evidence.
Oh, that's easy peasy. Just open, with the, especially with the like incision made on the chest, the dress is just open. Just pull it aside.
I was wondering, is this something I could use occult knowledge to see if there are any other signs of rituals?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you could do an occult roll.
I was gonna try, if possible, either first aid or forensics, whichever one would make more sense, to try and determine if there were any other on this body, any different cause of death, or if it was the same weapon was used.
Okay.
I did get a
So-
7 over 70 on that occult roll.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, which is excellent. So, resolving this first, if you look, unlike the corpse found recently, this one is still dressed, but they for some reason decided to redress it. Underneath, the occult markings are there, and they're virtually identical. And the ritual practices are identical to what you saw earlier.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. With that confirmed, we probably... Franklin, thank you so much for giving us the time to double check our working.
Yes.
We should probably retrieve those artifacts from you now. We did bring bags to secure the artifacts, didn't we, everybody? Like glancing to the rest of the team. Our securement containers.
Sophie is frantically digging through her bag to see if she has any securement containers.
I have this like little eco-friendly reusable shopping bag.
You know what? That will do. That will do.
Yes, well, follow me, please, if you have no further questions. And Franklin will lead you first through a strange space, very liminal, a long white hallway full of framed pictures from various eras, just littered with them. And it will take a right turn into a space with an odd door, no sacrifice required this time. And you will have gone to... Ooh, where is that room? Oh golly, did I not move it in? I think I accidentally deleted the room. So if you can vamp for a moment, I will put that room in.
Of course. Yeah, no.
Aha.
Sophie is still focused on the fact that she did not bring any securement containers as Agent Summer asked for, and is sifting through the bag and is like muttering to herself, I don't want to use the one that we already have the thing in. Where did I put them?
It's fine. At the very least, I did bring additional metal lunchboxes. It's not radioactive proof, but it'll do.
I'll put it on the list to bring for next time, I'm sorry.
My lunch was supposed to go in that later. What a bummer.
Agent Seagal is definitely just kind of studying Franklin, studying all of you when she can too, but particularly just kind of, and not even like staring in a rude way, just like studying them, their humanness or lack thereof. And anytime they speak, the speech pattern is very fascinating to her. So she'd probably be silent, but definitely observing.
Question apropos of nothing. Who has the highest unnatural score?
Mine is at 20.
I have a 10.
Let me pull up my character
Wait.
sheet.
Nathan, did you say Summer has a 20?
Yes.
Anyone higher than a 20?
I don't have an unnatural score.
Okay,
You're not
cool.
supposed to. Things go
Yeah,
wrong,
it's
and then
supposed
you
to
get an unnatural score.
Love that. I love that. Okay.
I think
Great. So, I'll get to you in a minute, Nathan. But, Franklin will just go, yes, behind this door is the room with the pile of things. It is large. Have at you. Once you go in, when you come out, you can leave. You will go the way you came. Good luck. I hope you find what you need. And you will find this behind the door.
Oh.
Something
Oh
like it.
no.
Which is a room just full of countless small objects
So many
Piled.
chairs.
in the room.
There's...
Thank you,
mhm.
Franklin. We appreciate the hospitality.
when you turn saying that, Franklin is gone.
Well, at least I said it.
There's a pinch of bridge of nose. All right, I guess we're gonna have to go and split up to see if we can find anything useful. And then we should probably discuss what we do with the information we find. Or whatever.
Agent Summer, can you roll me alertness?
Oh, I would love to roll you alertness, darling. It's a very bad alertness, but okay. I have a feeling it was probably for the best, to be honest.
Maybe for you. So, you're all in a room full of shit. What you gonna do with it?
Shade would like to see if she can find any more of those like small serpentine marbles, because I'm very curious about those specifically, since we have two identical ones basically.
So why don't we take a brief break and think about that and come back in 5.
Marvelous. We're going to see you all in 5 minutes, everybody. Make sure that you remain comfortable. You go for a stretch. And when we return, the second part of Delta Green, Operation Excelsior. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of Delta Green, Operation Excelsior. We are very, very far underground the streets of New York in a room full of stuff. And obscene amounts of stuff.
All right. So, you have this massive pile of things right in front of you. Franklin just left you to your own devices. And all you have to do is find what you need, hopefully, and leave through the door you just came in. So tell me, what do you do?
A very good point was raised previously, I think by Agent Shade, in trying to find other. I guess if we can find other marbles, if we can find anything made of the same type of marble as the 2 samples we've retrieved, I think that already puts us in a very good position. There's probably a pretty wide range of things that could be used for that. You know, I could see a history or an anthropology or what have you. I'm going to go at this with a search, or if I can help somebody to raise their threshold, I'd love to do that as well.
Yeah, why doesn't everyone give me a search roll?
Oh, no.
Do you have something better?
I'm actually.
Oh no, 100?
I fumbled so hard.
So,
What if it?
this won't mean you don't find anything. This will mean it will take a long time to you. So, failure, crit, fumble. Wow, people. Gee whiz. Well,
Yikes.
The full range
So-
of results.
You
So-
did!
at least Agent Seagal succeeded. So, Agent Seagal, you were all digging through all of this stuff. This mountain of random objects. There is so much going on here. It is absurd. It is just this mountainous pile of things. But what is wild is you find that this is thousands and thousands of like mundane objects pulled off of countless corpses that were found from the last like 100 years, dumped on the Hudson River and the banks of Manhattan. And you do find like serpentine, like green marble polished objects, all of them simple but finely crafted. But in addition, this is things like wallets and pens, pocket watches, jewelry, hats, like utilitarian objects from normal people. And they're all from different years. And you can see stuff like, if you open up wallets, you'll see stuff from like 1973, 1945, 1964, 1937, right? Does no one has art or someone had history, right? Who has history?
It's me.
Okay.
I also have history.
Yeah,
That's
if you have
us.
history or art or any other relevant skill, roll it.
15 over 50. Success.
Nice.
Ah, yeah. Great. 2 successes. I love that. That's awesome. So,
3 successes.
Ooh, golly.
That's 2 successes in a row for me. That's
Love
rare.
And those are good ones. So, what you see is that almost all of these objects are fairly simple. They're very common, almost universally. This is a pile of cheap junk. But what that means is that these victims were, generally speaking, probably working class or poor people. Some of this stuff is just really simple. But you do find a small number of key expensive items, indicating that maybe while the victims are almost universally poor or working class folks, they pulled these off of wealthy people in the process. And I can show you a couple of the items I'm speaking about. They are in the handouts. There is a pin with serpentine green marble embedded in it. There is also a commemorative pen from 1947 given out at New Year's from the Manhattan Company. And it was given out at a party at the Empire State Building. Both those things are engraved right on it.
The Empire State Building, I see. Okay. That's an excellent find, you two. Thanks for working so quickly.
These really stand out because they are so different from everything else you see. And these are the things that really connect back to the objects found in the victims themselves. But they're different. So they must have been pulled somewhere by the victims themselves.
They had stolen them and then eventually ended up murder victims.
Yeah.
Which makes a pretty
Exactly.
good suggestion of who might have killed them too, actually.
So the next question is, where would you go in the Empire State Building if that's where you need to go?
Did you
There's a
say
couple things
that
you
it
have to
was the
do.
Manhattan Project?
But
No, I am just double checking what you
Oh.
said.
the Manhattan Company.
Manhattan Company. Thank you.
Yes.
Do we know what
this point-
floor the Manhattan Company would be on today?
It wouldn't. It doesn't exist.
I would really love to find out once we get somewhere where I can
Get some
access the
signal.
internet.
All right. I think we're all really over suffering from this endless claustrophobic attack. Shall we go to the surface again?
Yes. So, anything you would like to do before leaving?
There's one last glance at the ritual note and mission file from Agent Svensson. Is there any aside from doing this specifically? Do we have any messages specifically to relay to Franklin before we depart?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It was
I
to get
already thanked
information
for his
from Franklin and leave.
All right.
Oh, what was that?
I was like, and I already thanked him for his hospitality. I assume he heard me, even though he was gone.
At the very least, I suppose we should make a memo so whoever is next down here possibly brings containment equipment. Can't believe we didn't think of that in advance. Oh well. And she turns to try and open the door to leave this storage room.
And when you do, you find yourself in a short access tunnel with the doorway to the subway station visible.
Well, that's handy.
I enjoy not having to walk through that subway tunnel again,
Yeah,
but definitely strange.
me too. Tiring. Okay. Let's. I do not know the layout of New York City, but it feels like there would be a very expensive coffee shop immediately opposite the Empire State Building.
Yes. Hold on one moment.
Oh.
You get up to the subway station, right? Okay. You go to find a coffee shop. All right, great. When you check your phones, because you finally get access to the internet.
Yeah.
Can you roll me a quick alertness?
Okay.
I'm
just not an alert
not very
person.
good at it.
I
just wanna
know
know how
that
fast you find
that
out.
succeeding here is a bad time, but okay.
Find out what?
I think I succeed. That's a critical, I believe.
Oh, you find out right away. Good for you. So the second you get up to the
Barely.
subway station and the signal hits your phone and you look at it, how long do you think you were down there?
It probably seemed like maybe 15, 20 minutes.
3 weeks.
Sophie is going to freeze.
Did you miss
Because-
your midterms?
Uh-huh.
Do you let them know? Well, first, let's roll some sand.
Yes.
Because if you don't say anything, they'll catch your reaction.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more just like Sophie's just gonna stop walking and stare at the date as if it's gonna magically change.
Oh.
Yikes. That's a fumble.
I also passed that
this
check.
is-
Do I also need to roll Sen?
Oh, yeah. If anyone succeeded, you're all gonna figure it out
Cool,
shortly.
cool.
But with that crit, it was right away.
Yeah.
So like, she'll
It
pull out her
barely
phone.
failed.
Yeah. So with that fumble,
man.
you're gonna take all 10
Oh no.
because it's
I
a
think-
1d10.
I think that's
With
gonna
the
push
time
me back.
travel,
That's gonna push me past
So-
my breaking point.
probably. Your character, they're more likely to fight, flee, or freeze. In which order is it?
It would likely be freeze, flight, fight. She's not a fighter, she's
Freeze.
a lover.
Freeze, fight, flight.
Flight,
Okay.
fight.
Roll me a d6. So 1 through 3 will be freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Fight will be 4 and 5, and 6 will be flight.
Five.
So your fight, I guess you're just gonna attack the nearest person. So you're just gonna go attack a nearby stranger. What do you do when you see your fellow agent attacking a stranger before you can see your phones and realize what day it is?
I'll let somebody else take point on this.
I think I'd probably I'd go after her and try and stop her or direct her violence towards myself. I think.
How do
Okay.
you do this, Agent Springer?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I didn't say anything.
No, how do you do this, Agent Springer?
Yeah.
How are you carrying out your
Oh.
violence in your panic?
So I think in that moment she would just be looking for something to take out her frustration on, because that like getting through college and getting that degree was very important to her because it felt like the last tie to anything mundane that she really had. And she knows that, like, skipping midterms, that will kill all of her grades and likely mess up graduating on time if she graduates at all now. And she would just turn on the nearest person and probably just start swinging at that point. Almost as if she was like trying to punch a wall, but not really realizing that she turned it on a person.
And then Agent Seagal, intervenes.
Yeah, I definitely try and go after her and break up the fight. And like, if Agent Springer will not stop, I will literally just try and get her away to turn her violence against myself.
I think by the point that you turn her away from the person, she would realize what she's doing and that she wasn't punching the wall like she thought she was, and would just look horrified.
Did you actually punch an innocent bystander? Because if so, I definitely think Shade would go up to the bystander and be like, yeah, let's persuade you not to, we're just gonna ignore what just happened, yeah.
Yeah, I think she would have.
And this is New York. There's some big "I'm walking here" vibe. Yeah.
As you all kind of go to Springer's aid, and you notice that Agent Summer didn't move with everybody else, and Summer is looking at her phone and has a hand over her mouth and her brow furrowed in concern, as she also noticed that the date had significantly changed and had multiple text messages from her partner, Ty, who was pretty semi-distant to begin with, and I think the idea of just being uncontactable for 3 weeks has probably put considerably much more strain on what was already something drawn quite thin.
Mm-hmm. And like dominoes, you other two are realizing how much time has passed. I need you two to roll San as well.
Aw. I don't want to.
51 under 73, success.
Yep.
Mm.
For a success, take 2.
I don't know why. Sorry, I'm struggling with my Roll20 for some reason. It's decided to not be very user-friendly right now.
Good, okay. Yep, take 2.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sorry to ask a question at this juncture. How much lower is the breaking point from your standard sanity?
Sorry, a brain fart. It's your power.
Okay. So that much less. Okay, we're still just about good.
I'm below the breaking point at this point, so I don't know if there's anything that has to happen.
So right now, it wouldn't present right now, but you would remove a motivation and replace it with a disorder. And let's... I'd say you'd pick between either paranoia, because Franklin is going to make you think that everyone's in a people suit, or maybe claustrophobia, given your recent experiences.
Okay.
Join me in paranoia. I'm kidding. Do what you want.
I think I would more take the claustrophobia in this case.
That works. Or another relevant one from the recent experiences related to recent trauma.
All right. Well, seeing as graduating on time is off the table, let's take away that motivation, and we'll replace that with, well, given
now
the time jump, would that cause some sort of like, I'm trying to figure out what that would be relevant to, like, some sort of anxiety that she's missing time?
I mean, it could be. That could also, like, think about it. You don't have to choose right now.
Okay, I'll think about
But
it.
yeah, you're gonna have to pick a disorder that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But this will, of course, resolve in a bit. Your character will calm down, and you'll have to proceed with the mission, right?
Mhm.
So, moving on to the area of the Empire State Building. I think we should maybe escalate the tone with the music.
Ooh.
How do you feel?
How desperate are we now?
I don't think we're desperate right now, but I think we're tense.
Okay, yeah. We'll do that.
Jade is doing okay, if only because Serbine's food is on an automatic thing. So her being gone for 3 weeks does not mean a dead cat at home.
Mm.
That's right. Is there water too?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Okay,
think
good.
that, yeah, it's a similar thing for Agent Seagal, where, like, yeah, this is concerning and don't like losing this amount of time.
Your
But-
girlfriend's on an automatic feeder and water as well?
No, my girlfriend's just used to me, like, when I have to leave for work, sometimes I'm uncontactable. Usually I'm able to let her know, but sometimes I'm not, because sometimes I'm in foreign countries where I just really can't be on my phone because I don't have service pretty much ever. So
Yep.
Yeah,
I would have messages from her and she'd be a bit pissed, but it's not like,
I also think that
Yeah.
knowing how these Delta Green missions usually go, Shade probably would have taken a little bit of time off of work. 3 weeks is a little
Mhm.
excessive, so I expect she's got some messages from her higher ups at the CIA, but nothing too concerning yet, because for all they know, she could be on some sort of secret mission. That'd be weird for a data analyst, but you never know.
Excellent. So, you get to the Empire State Building. What do?
I guess one of the things that we needed to kind of do in the intervening period of time, I guess it kind of happened off camera. We realized that the Manhattan Company no longer exists, but we probably needed to do a bit of bureaucracy, because I know that there's a stat for that, or otherwise kind of
Yeah.
like looking in to see how that company moved and changed, so we know what company to ask for is going to be our opening gambit.
I'm
Should
good
we
at
roll for that?
bureaucracy.
I only have a 40 in bureaucracy, so if anybody has that higher, go for it.
I have a 60, I think.
Heck
I have a
yeah.
60.
I
Heck yeah.
also have a 60, so do you want to roll and I'll just like assist you?
Sure, we can give it a shot.
Right. So, roll me bureaucracy and I'll describe how that operates.
Because Shade is assisting, do I get anything extra or no?
Plus 20.
Cool.
But you already succeeded, so. Oh, and there it is. Sorry. Oh, you got a crit. Hot dog. You get all the goodies. So, rolling bureaucracy means instead of just going to the Empire State Building, you do the smart thing and you go to City Records and you start digging through the archives. And what you find are that some records around the Empire State Building and its construction back in 1929 are missing. But what you do find is that there was a weird cash infusion at the outset by a group of very wealthy people before it was constructed. And just after that, a huge, astronomical amount of money went into bringing in a ton of serpentine green marble, right out of Western Massachusetts, as a matter of fact. And it's not sure exactly where it went, but in the world of Delta Green and in the very real world, the entry hall, the lobby of the Empire State Building was completely made with serpentine green marble. And it's actually been overworked with different colors now, but it really was. And many of the features of the whole building actually have lots of serpentine green marble from Western Mass. But fascinatingly, more marble went into the building than you can see there. And because you got a crit, you get to spend extra time digging around and schmoozing the archivist to find those records, which were put seemingly intentionally in the wrong place. And you found that there is, weirdly, additional construction just underneath the info desk in the lobby. So if you can sneak over there and find out how to get there, you've got a way in. That was a lucky crit. I was going to make you go look for it.
That was a really good crit. Thank you, Lala, for the assist. Yeah, I'll share all that information with my fellow agents of what I found.
Yep.
Astounding work, Agent Seagal. I'm overjoyed. So, does that mean we need to get the people who were working in the lobby to step away for a moment?
That would probably be the ideal.
I think we can handle that.
They're not likely to let us in to something that, well, quite frankly, isn't supposed to exist.
Now might be the time to bring out the big guns. There's a lot of filthy money in the Empire State Building, and maybe we can make some leverage of that for people to question whether they need to be where we currently are when there are more burning matters in their lives.
Oh, and additionally, because you were curious, the Manhattan Company was a real company. It was the wealthiest company in the Empire State Building when it was built into the 50s. But it was merged into a larger company, I believe, in the 50s. So it no longer exists. But at the time, that pen was commemorating New Year's. That was the wealthiest company in the building at the time.
What was it? Well, I guess it doesn't matter what company it's accommodated into now. All right. I thinking of the play here. If my suggestion, because these are always behind roles and they could always go wrong, is to kind of speak to the person in the lobby, use either criminology or bureaucracy to kind of be like, hey, some of the people that pay your salary are in some pretty deep trouble with the government over money dealings. You should probably go get their attention about it. And then while that fuss and they're out of the way, we slip behind the info desk and go where we need to. But hey, that is a workshopped plan. If people have a stronger plan of attack, I am all ears.
I mean, if that doesn't work, we can just always pull the fire alarm.
Hey, solid plan B.
That is an absolute
As an
option.
EMT, that is probably the first thing that Sophie would think of to get people out of a building.
But both of those are better than my plan, which was like, maybe we should try and get somebody to bribe them. That's a lot of people, most likely.
I vote for pulling the fire alarm.
Okay, that's 2 for fire alarm. I'll take that.
It puts less of our faces in front of people that might talk later.
That is true.
True.
All right.
All right. So, in the lobby of the Empire State Building, which this is a very real freeze in the Empire State Building. This is the 8th wonder of the world, they have declared, which is just a testament to American hubris, and I am obsessed.
For the short period of time, considering how obnoxious this lobby is, we need something elevator-esque, so... How is the receptionist today? What are we dealing with as we step in?
You've seen Ghostbusters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Bob, big glasses, nasal voice, she has no time for you. What do you want?
Oh, good evening. Sorry to distract at this time of the evening. I just wanted to talk to you about a handful of very important things. As I guess this is something that we would want to specifically requisition ahead of time, but it feels like something in the ballpark of a fake ID would be fabulous to have at this moment if we can get that in a rewind.
Yeah, no, you would have been given them
Yeah,
ahead of time.
yeah.
Yeah, you've all
I
got them.
am Rachel Summer. I'm currently with, let's see, Rogers and Rogers Accounting, and I am of the understanding that one of our CEOs is currently posted up here, and I just wanted to make sure that I could get in contact with him. Would you mind, getting the Rolodex out, letting me know what floor they're supposed to be on?
Sure. What's the name of the company?
Rogers and Rogers Accounting.
Hold on a minute.
And
Can I look for a fire alarm?
oh yeah,
Is this a real company that you looked up ahead of time?
I have not. Are you asking in or out of character?
Out of character.
Out of character? No, I just made that up on the.
I'm not seeing him here.
Oh, I mean.
Are you sure you're in the right building?
Mm-hmm. And we start a whole kind of Agent Summer gets red in the face and starts to edge into kind of like Karen. Can I persuade with Karen energy? There isn't an intimidate roll on
Roll
this
me
thing.
a charisma times 5.
Charisma times 5 sounds good.
Yep.
That's 55, so that's actually better. 18, hell yeah.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. So, yes, you are malingering with this poor, impatient New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
She has to travel all the way from Brooklyn for this.
Oh, a nightmare.
3 trains.
Oh boy.
So yeah, while this obnoxious conversation is going on that I will not roleplay, please somebody go pull a fire alarm.
Yeah, that was. I
Fire
think.
alarm?
Mm-hmm. Shaden's Springer are looking for the fire alarm.
And I'll definitely kind of keep watch, lingering, maybe pretend to act like a tourist with like looking around the lobby, but keeping an eye out on things for everyone.
All right.
So you find a fire alarm, you pull it, bells go off, and then this one's just like, I'm not paid enough for this shit. She gets up, she goes, everybody's leaving, there's chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So who's the one to go behind the info desk?
I mean, I like the idea, since we're already at the desk, that Summer just kind of one hand plants on the top of the desk and just vaults over it to get behind it. No time to walk around.
I love it. All right. If you look, you like feel under, you'll find a button.
Mm-hmm.
You press it, and then there's like a tss, and a stairwell appears as like a flap slides away, and there's a stairwell down behind the info desk.
I hate having to
Into
act like that
darkness.
around people. Come on, we don't have much time.
In the chaos of the fire alarm, I think Shade is just gonna go down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll try and be the last one again, but same.
Yeah.
And when you all get down, there's a change of tone. A dimly lit hallway where everything is serpentine green marble, tile, dark mahogany, and golden accents. Legitimate golden accents and Tiffany glass lamps. It is from another time. Only a few doors on each side, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, and it is quiet. On the end are 2 dark glass doors, double doors.
Agent Summer draws her pistol and holds it in combat-ready positioning.
Mm-hmm. The stairs close behind you, silently.
We're getting in and we're leaving. I'm tired.
I'd say getting in and getting what we need and getting out is a good option.
this point.
Same.
I think we have enough circumstantial evidence to remove whoever we find down here with impunity, so let's not get caught up in circles of conversation. I don't want to have to put on the face again today.
I love that you worry about the law.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, just in terms of I don't want to have to pretend to be open and sunny with anybody, so I would rather just remove them on site. But yes, very much
perfect.
so.
Okay. So, what do? You have 3 options in the hallway besides the end of the hallway.
I think operating a little bit expediently for time, Summer marches down the corridor quietly, but, you know, very directly to the black glass double doors at the end.
You got it. You get through, and there's an antechamber where you find this staring back at you. Massive and impressive doors look back at you in a tableau of really hubris. Serpentine green marble in a frieze demonstrating human figures lifting something up, and you can't tell. But as you go down the hallway and enter this antechamber, something about reality has shifted and is plastic. And your vision is slightly warped. And you feel a little unstable. But you can secure yourself. You know that whatever is through here is going to be a lot. But you came to destroy.
Oh, okay. Is there any mechanical roles that we can take to shore ourselves up? Or are we just gonna kind of go in and handle whoever's on the other side?
So right now, with reality as strange and plastic as it is, roll me San.
Mm-hmm. I fail.
Success.
So success means that you will take 1 sand damage, which is fine. Failure, not as bad as it might be. Take 1d4 sand damage for failure. But also, you know, and only if you fail do you know, that if you push with your mind a little bit, you might be able to manipulate the world around you. Take 1d4 sand damage, and let me know if you want to fiddle around with that or not. That'll have consequences, but you might be able to do some stuff with it.
Huh.
Oh, I know there's somebody at the table who that is relevant for.
All right, you got these 20-foot tall doors of gold and Tiffany glass in front of you. What are you going to do?
As much as I hate to say it, I think the only thing to do is to move forward.
Of course.
All right.
Juicy, I have a question.
Yes.
You said that, and would it seem relevant to that strange ritual that I know?
Oh, you have that. Well, I mean, it's relevant to anyone who failed their sand roll, but it's especially relevant to you. So if you wanted to start making funny sounds and wiggling your hands, you could.
I think at this point, Sophie would, just because failing that sand roll, there's this strange curiosity, and she doesn't know why this feels relevant, but it does. And she would kind of step in front of everyone and stand in front of the door and start doing this.
Yep. And in front of her, there's like a hole in the universe that appears. And it's rimmed with light and filled with blackness. And inside that hole, there is the vision of something strange. In the middle of that is it. Find it, because I can't read. Oh, there it is. Haha. You will see. Gosh. I'm just going to describe it, because you will see a massive floating 8-sided geometric shape made of serpentine green marble, inlaid with complex gold lines. And it has no face, no eyes, but somehow you know it is staring back at you. And it is terrifying to behold. And you know it's on the other side of those doors.
Hmm.
And it knows you can see it.
Hmm.
And it's waiting.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everyone roll SAN.
Of course.
Mhm.
Let's
I
just
mean, I
bring-
already lose 1 sanity point just doing that, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm so close to my breaking point.
Pass.
I've
I fumbled.
I'm long past it, so it's fine.
Mhm.
All right.
Because to clarify, Juicy, it's your charisma minus your max, right? That's your breaking point.
I said charisma earlier on break by accident. It's power, I believe.
Power. Okay, I'm still pretty close. Let me roll this in. Why
right, so
is
this-
it doing it like this?
Yeah.
Sorry, my roll 20 is not being very nice to me right now.
It's
Yeah.
all
So
good.
if you succeed, just find some way to cope, and if
Mhm.
you fail, 1d4,
Even
because
on
you're
a
not in its
fumble.
presence yet. You're just seeing it through a hole in the universe.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just the way the room is. Who knows?
I don't have the stats for it because art and archaeology and stuff isn't really my strong point. But because of the way that marble's veined, does it have like a structural weakness across those facets? As a question, because hey, if this thing is made of marble, maybe that is a thing that we can use to break it.
Well, it would have inclusions. So if you had, say, grenades
Mm.
or explosives, that could hurt it.
Mm.
It has physicality, though that could damage it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you have, does anyone have military science or heavy weapons?
Sadly, not me, not I.
Okay. Well,
No.
I have
shall we
firearms.
move through the doors and not delay the inevitable?
Let's do it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's break the sucker open.
All right.
Mhm.
You go through the
TPK, let's
doors
go.
into the chapel of this temple,
Chapel. Huh?
and you see. Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. That octahedron floating there in space. There it is. I just have to get it back on the map again. Oop. Why did it not show up like I told it to? There it is. Haha. And it is floating in space in front of that dais. It must be 20 feet tall, hovering there in space.
It's huge.
Here's where you really need to roll your sand check.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get down to its stats. And can everyone roll me an alertness as well?
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you succeed.
Shade succeeded sanity, but failed alertness.
Okay.
I'm real good at my sanity checks.
Okay. We succeeded both the SAN and the alertness check, which is nice.
Same with Sophie.
All right.
I succeeded both too.
All right. So if you succeeded, 1d4, do a 1d4 sand check.
Mm-hmm.
And if you failed, to give me 1d10.
failed on the alertness or the sanity?
On the SAN. Anyone who succeeds on the alertness, you spot a man waiting all the way in the back behind the altar, just waiting in the shadows.
So Agent Springer, you've already kind of, opened the door to the fact that you understand the manipulation of the space.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Springer. You get all the beer you want if you handle tearing that thing apart. I'm gonna tear apart that thing in the shadows. And Summer pulls a pistol. I was very smart and did not do an equipment list, but we're rapidly approaching Calvin Ball at this point. Let's shoot the figure in the shadows. It's quite far, but I'd rather get the drop on him.
So, briefly, when you actually envisage this shape above you, one of the things is you all succeeded in your sanity check, so you managed to withstand its psychic shout. You all feel this like heavenly scream pierce through your flesh and mind, but it manages to not hurt you. It just simply passes through you.
Yeah. I think...
Now...
Yeah, go ahead.
Now we can enter combat. And we go in dex order. So can everyone put their dex, just type your dex in chat.
Sure. That is a 10 on my part.
Do we all have the same? Wow.
We all just decided to assign dexterity 10. Great.
That's funny.
Love to be mid.
Then I'll just go in the order you typed.
Okay.
But we start with the thing that floats. Because it is faster. And it has an ability that I am very excited about. You might be less so. It has such sights to show you. And it is going to spend 3 willpower. And it is going to choose 3 of you. And it is going to show you your ideal heaven. So, Agent Shade, you suddenly feel like you are sitting on the couch with your cat, drinking even another cup of coffee. He is purring so loud that it fills your body with ecstasy. The vibration permeates your bones. Lose 1 willpower. Agent Springer, you and your best friend have just gotten your first job together out of school. And you are on your way to becoming real detectives. You cannot wait for your first job. Everything is so thrilling. You are a success. Lose a willpower.
Okay.
Agent Summer. You and Detective Islington are sitting at a cafe having tea, and you are finally able to share all of your exploits with Delta Green that you've always wanted to talk about. Lose 1 willpower.
Sorry, a firework went off outside timed with that, but yes.
Agent Seagal, what would you like to do?
So I realized that none of the weapon information I inputted early this morning saved, and I can't remember what I put in. I know that I wanted to give myself a pistol.
That's fine.
So I think I just like to shoot the thing or the person.
That's fine. So,
I'd like
would
to
you like
shoot
to
the
aim
person, I
and
think.
shoot?
Yes.
All right, so that's
Preferably.
plus 20 to shoot.
Okay.
And then-
how do I? Where is that?
It's firearms,
so
I
what is
assume.
your firearm skill?
It's 40.
40. Aiming would be a plus 20, so that's a 60 to hit. So roll a d100.
Okay. I wish my roll 20 would cooperate with me.
Hey!
Ooh,
nice.
success.
Awesome. So then, a pistol I think is 1d6,
1d10.
or is it 1d10?
Yes.
Okay.
I just pulled it up in the book.
Excellent.
I can pull it up again, but I'm almost positive it's 1d10.
All right, then roll 1d10.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna do it by hand because again, my roll 20 is not cooperating, and I can't
That's fine.
find where to do that stuff on online. So
Always rad to have physical dice with you, though.
yes, that's a 6.
Okay.
6. I'll take it.
Yeah, could be a lot worse.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, this is fun. All right. You notice that your compatriots are slack-jawed, standing there mindless when you thought they would be acting.
Okay.
But now we're back to the shape in the sky,
Hmm.
and it is going to maintain what it has been doing. But now that it's maintaining, the three of you, starting with Agent Shade, you have the opportunity to fight back. Roll POW.
Okay. Okay. It did it, but it's going really slow.
Hey.
There we go. Success.
Good, good.
Okay. You have the opportunity to act.
I also would like to shoot it with the pistol that I carry.
All right. Firearms. You cannot aim because you had to spend your move action fighting it off.
Oh, miserable failure.
Oops. Went wide. That's fine. All right. Next, Agent Summer.
Hmm. We make a power roll to see if I snap out of my reverie.
Uh-huh.
I do not.
Okay. You now are sharing the most recent mission with Delta Green, where you experienced this strange figure who was deep underground, and you couldn't quite tell what they were, but you're gonna figure it out, because that's something you just don't understand yet, and you will do the research.
It's the
Lose
funniest
one
thing.
willpower.
When it comes down to it, there are mysteries in all sorts of places.
And yeah, for those of you who have snapped out of your reverie or are not in it to begin with, you notice Agent Summer mumbling, whispering to themselves, standing there, staring at nothing. Agent Springer, would you like to fight?
I will try.
Take plus 20 with all of your unnatural experience.
Okay.
Hmm.
And that is a success.
Okay.
Excellent. You snap out. What would you like to do with your one action?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Am I still maintaining that ritual? Or would I have dropped it to enter the
That
space?
you would have dropped. However, you could do a POW check to also spend some will and attack its willpower.
Hmm.
Well, that was what I was looking to do in some sort of way, is direct, because
Yes.
Sophie, like I said, she's a lover, not a fighter. She doesn't really
Mhm.
have much weapons training or experience that she would
Yes.
be honing in on.
One thing you would note in particular with your experience is that the reality distortion around this thing is more intense in this space closer to it. What you experienced in
it.
this antechamber is far more intense here.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I will roll power.
Yep.
Again to try and attack some of its willpower as well.
Okay, that's a success. Then it will. Then spend.
Oh, that was
one
my
will-
check to
break.
Oh.
break free. I'm rolling the power check now.
There it is. Okay, good.
Oh, so close.
So close. Spend 1 will.
Okay.
That took 1 will because it tires your mind.
Mhm.
And now we are back to Seagal.
Can I just shoot it again? Can I just aim and shoot it?
Oh, actually, hold on. No, you were at the top, right? So we're back to the thing in the sky. So
Yeah.
it is going to spend some willpower, and it is going to try to take over Seagal this time,
All right.
and Shade, and it's going to maintain on Summer. But I'll allow you 3 to fight. So Seagal, would you like to fight with a POW check?
Sure. Let's give it a shot. Oh, I succeeded.
Okay, great.
I don't do this well usually.
Awesome. So you succeeded. You can't aim, but you can shoot.
Yeah, I'll shoot. Give it a shot. Where is it?
Nice.
Nope.
But okay. No success. 69 over 40. All right. And then Shade.
I'm going to try to fight. So,
Okay.
success.
Excellent. You snap back out of it. Would you like to shoot?
I
Or would you like to try a
shoot.
power attack to sap its will?
Ooh. So that's just another power check. Let's do that. Failure.
Spend 1 willpower. Now be careful about these power attacks. If you go to 0 will, you pass out.
Okay.
All right. And then Summer.
So, I'm going to do something maybe unorthodox, and let me know if this is works within. Having having passed the awareness and lost the sanity check when we realized that the space here is plastic and manipulatable, I would love to see the shadowy figure standing at the other end of the hall in the cafe where I am having tea with Detective Islington.
Oh.
And then make a power roll within the space, so I am not breaking reverie. I am moving within the reverie instead.
Okay, yeah. So make 2 power rolls for me, please.
The first one?
One to not break the reverie, but to manipulate it. Like, excellent.
We are
and then
lucid
one more to
dreaming.
bring him in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's trapped in here with me.
Yes. And funny little joke is that the thing above you, lucid dreaming is actually one of its abilities. Literally called that. So you're good. So there you are. He's in there with you.
Yeah, I'm having a conversation, you know, it's like, oh, there are mysteries in all sorts of places. Why, the other day I saw a mysterious figure. And, like, leaning slightly, looking past Detective Islington, we see the figure in shadow and Agent Summer in smoothly, like she wasn't holding a gun in the scene before, like a teacup was in that hand, and pulls up a gun and levels the sights. You're supposed to die here, I think.
I love that. I'll let you aim now. You can shoot next turn.
Cool, I am aiming.
Awesome. Great. And that figure will be confused, so it won't take actions yet because it doesn't know where it is, and it will be incorporated into the reverie. All right, so then I believe that Springer is next.
Alrighty. So I think that actually brings up a good point because she had realized that this reality is very pliable and manipulatable. Would she be able to create some sort of weapon that she could use in the space, like
Sure.
against the floating figure?
What's your unnatural score?
20.
20. Roll POW.
Okay. Failure.
Oh, okay. Then you failed to do that.
Okay. But she would have tried
Yes.
at the very least.
Yep. Okay, and that will be your turn because that
Okay.
takes a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then we are back to what I called the Archon. The Archon is going to maintain its efforts. So that will be its spend of will, which you don't get to see, but I will let you know that it is consuming quite a bit of power. And that means that Seagal, you are snapped back into reverie. Can you roll POW, please?
It's another success.
You are just on the precipice of like kissing your girlfriend and then snapped back to reality. What would you like to do with the last bit of your turn?
Can I try and sap its full power? Can I try and take it?
Sure.
Yeah. That seems like the best course of action right now. Give it a shot.
Okay. I love that. Spend one will.
With the
And
crit
then-
as well.
Okay.
With that, roll me a d4.
Okay. One willpower. And a d4.
Yeah.
2.
Okay. That is awesome. All right. Then, Shade, you are petting your cat, sipping your coffee. Life is perfect. No one will bother you again. But you have the chance to fight.
I'm gonna fight. So,
Okay.
nope, I'm going to continue petting my cat.
His purrs just reach your bones. This is the best moment you can remember in a long time. Summer.
Yes, it is.
The gun leveled
What
at
are
the
you-
mysterious figure. He was supposed to die here. And I'm gonna go and shoot him.
Plus 20.
Okay. Please. Good.
Oh, that modifier is what got it for you.
Uh-huh.
All right, roll me a d10.
Okay. 10, 3.
Ah.
Still.
That's okay. That is... Okay, he's going to fall down. That's half his hit points.
Mhm.
When you take half your hit points or more, you pass out.
Yeah. What does that do anything to the space?
No one reacts.
Weird. Okay.
Yep,
I think
everything carries on perfectly.
Yeah.
It's the perfect space. It's your heaven.
I think Detective Islington and Martina Wandsworth, because hey, we don't need to use agent names under this circumstance, get up and walk over to the bleeding body of the shadowy figure. I don't think you can still see their face, even in this space, because Martina doesn't know what it looks like. And they both pull a pistol and level it at the guy prone on the floor, and we move to wherever we need to move to.
And that's all you can do in that time. All right, Springer.
Okay.
You are not in Reverie. What do you do?
I'm not. And that attempt to create some sort of weapon obviously didn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the attempt to sabotage its willpower.
Yep.
Success.
Beautiful. Question. How much willpower do you have left?
So I currently have 9.
Would you like to spend 6?
Just you know.
You know what? Why not? Let's do it.
Just wait.
You would? I love that.
I am open to doing it. Why not?
Okay, spend 6.
Okay.
You spend a huge amount of willpower.
Oh,
You,
God, then.
for a moment, collapse on the ground and just briefly lose consciousness. Roll me luck.
Oh no. Okay. Where is luck? Success.
You don't hit your head on the marble floor. I love that for you.
Oh,
But
good.
what does happen is everybody roll me luck.
What did I
Okay.
do?
What did
Yes,
you
it's
do?
him. No.
I failed.
Where
That's
is
okay.
luck? Why am I struggling? so much?
Roll a
Uh,
d100.
Below
There it
sanity
is.
points. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't, yeah, all right, good. Anyone who fails their luck roll takes 1 damage.
Ooh,
Because-
to hit HP. Okay.
Yup. The Archon emits another one of those angelic shrieks that goes through your body. And if you fail, it's because it resonates with your bones and it wreaks pain throughout your whole body as the Archon begins to fall. And as its tip hits the floor, it cracks and then shatters into a billion pieces. And then Agent Summer. In the last few seconds of your reverie, guns out with Islington. What do you do?
Yeah, I think Martina Wandsworth's nose starts bleeding as there is horrendous physical and psychic feedback from that scream somewhere in the distance of this cafe as they level their guns at the shadowy figure and simultaneously, this isn't heaven, pull the trigger.
And with that, the figure evaporates in your reverie. And this dream state dissolves, and you find yourself slack-jawed, drooling, with this massive pile of marble rubble around you in this incredibly ornate pantheon. And the agents encircled around you, everyone is like bleeding, breathing heavy. You have Agent Springer on the floor, like delirious. But you might be safe for now.
For
You think?
now.
Oh, Agent Summer, roll me alertness.
Of course. One last hurrah. I fail.
That's
Yay.
fine.
It's fine.
That's fine. We'll get there before we're done today. So, it seems like you have taken care of the big part of the mission for now. So let's wrap this up. You have killed this operating word, this thing that was attacking you psychically. The figure that was there has disappeared to 3 of you, Agent Summer, you know that you were able to somehow bend reality and bring it into your dream state
Mm-hmm.
and murder it with your figment of an imagination of a significant bond. But with all of this here, everybody gained back 10 sanity. You have ended significant amounts of unnatural activity. You can crawl your way out of this hole. You know that there are untackled rooms, but the big stuff is done.
Mm-hmm.
You can come back here or tell Delta Green to come back here and take care of the rest and do some research and figure out who else is connected. The job is done. You can go back to your families and rest for a time until the next mission calls. Agent Summer, when you get back to what I presume is your shitty apartment somewhere in New York, because that's all anyone has in New York, even rich people, unless they move out of New York because they're smart, you find in your bags a book, a strange book, bound in leather. I'll show it to everyone because it's fun. And this book, what do you do with this book? This is your epilogue, so tell me, what do you do with it?
I think we get it's surprisingly noir of the circumstances here, where there we go. We get like the shot where there is like orange light coming out through like slatted blinds in the windows as Agent Summer sits in a very cheap armchair and with a bad desk lamp looks at the cover of this book and is thumbs through her smartphone, puts it on the next nearby desk and gives a call. Hey, Islington, are you awake?
Yeah, I'm here. What up?
Sorry to call so late. It must be. I won't think about what time it is there. But I've had a hell of a day.
Why? Everything okay?
I'll see how much I can tell you. But you might want a cup of coffee first.
I'll put some gin in it.
Of course. And she she smiles, and this is the first time you've seen her smile genuinely this entire time, as she flips open the front page of the book. And I think I'll end it there.
So, little follow-up on that. You read the book. And then you notice in a few days, a few changes happen. First, your hair falls out, and then your nails grow longer and glassy, and then your skin sloughs off, and then you start feeling hungry. Really hungry. But not for food. Not the same food. Flesh. Bodies. Human flesh. And your teeth fall out, and new ones grow in, and your jaw extends, and then Franklin arrives to welcome you home. To the ghouls. And you have family once again.
It's a very bloody apartment that Franklin finds Wandsworth in, having picked through most of the other people that lived in that building, or at least on that floor. And it's probably only a matter of time until her former colleagues, come a knocking. But for now...
No, that's the thing, is that Delta Green has an agreement. Once in a while, this does happen. Franklin used to work for Delta Green in the 50s. It's fine.
Okay.
Franklin just liked you.
Well, let's sort out that untidy room together then. Oh. And I think that, everybody, is Delta Green. Thank you so
Sol?
much, everybody. Go ahead.
No, just thank you all. And thank you everybody for playing. This was so much fun. I hope you had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so happy that Franklin didn't like me.
Franklin's great. You're so mean.
No, I would miss my cat.
Fair.
No, you
fair.
wouldn't. That's the thing.
We're gonna do this pretty quick because I always like doing this, and it'd be a shame if we didn't. I love at the end of sessions on channel to just kind of go around the table and just give a moment of another thing that somebody enjoyed, another player did that you particularly enjoyed. To go first, I really enjoyed how true that Agent Seagal stayed in kind of like reflecting the trauma that you'd take on in character generation throughout the entire session. I loved how you kept that in the forefront of how you played the character. That was great. Loved it.
Thanks. I think I'll go next then. That feels like a good. Which do I pick? There's lots of moments. I think I'm gonna go with Emma with Agent Springer. When just like I'm just gonna do this ritual, and then what we're gonna fight appears. Just so many moments remembering about your character, all of those things. It was a really, really great moment, and made me happy for a lot of reasons, and also terrified because of what we were about to fight.
Absolutely. And I actually really enjoyed the connection to Agent Shade's connection to Mr. Beans, and how that kept coming up throughout the session, and just, oh, my cat is my one thing that grounds me, and I love that.
Thank you. I honestly, and I don't want to be the person that does that, but I just enjoyed everyone. I'm not gonna lie.
We are all treasures. It's true.
Yeah, I think it was great, and I really enjoyed Juicy giving us like the creepies. Like I actually love Franklin. I might have nightmares about him, but I love him just the same.
Yeah, chat was like going off about how well you had your physicality in playing Franklin in the scene that was introduced. So everybody enjoyed Franklin, except for the people who didn't, who were wrong. But yes, no, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yes.
We're just going to let the credits run briefly in the background while we just go around the table one last time so everybody can go and introduce them, remind everybody who you are and where you can be found. Emma.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Emma. I am a TTRPG content creator with my podcast network, Tabletop Tailspinners Network. There's a link tree in the credits that'll be shown where you can find our 3 currently releasing podcasts, 2 D&D 5e and 1 Monster Hearts that just released its first episode on Wednesday. So if you want to check those out and follow us on social media to support us, I would really appreciate it.
Marvelous. Lala.
I'm Lala. You can find me pretty much everywhere online as Lala Loves Cake. And I'm a TTRPG enthusiast. I play in a lot of games on a lot of different channels, so don't be surprised if you've seen me elsewhere.
Abby.
Yes, I'm Abby Marie Carter. Was really happy to be here. I'm a New York-based aspiring actor, writer, all-around nerd, and TTRPG hobbyist. You can find me on Instagram at Abby_Marie_Carter. You can catch me on Tabletop Tailspinners Network with their Monster Hearts podcast, or over on Mistress Winter's Court every Monday and Thursday on Mondays for Pathfinder, and for Thursdays I run a Monster Hearts 2 campaign. So yes, and this is wonderful. I really like Delta Green and would love to play it again sometime.
And
Same.
last, but by absolutely no means least, the illustrious Juicy Garland.
Yes, hi, I'm Juicy Garland, a Boston area drag queen and super nerd, and I have been your handler for the evening. I am so glad to have been here. You can find me on the twitter.com and Blue Sky at Juicy Garland, and on Instagram at juicy.garland. I am in a bunch of projects, probably too many, frankly, but you can find me in the Tabletop Tailspinners Monster Hearts podcast with Abby, and I am so excited about that. I'm in love with it, and our first episode just released, and it is so good, and I love it. Please give it a listen. All Our Faults, you can find it on your favorite podcast app. That's the word. Or you can find it through the link tree that Emma had mentioned. Also, we do a Monster Hearts actual play stream on Thursday nights on Mistress Winter's channel, which is wrapping up soon. It's also on YouTube if you want to catch the back episodes. I love that as well. Abby runs that as our GM, or MC as the game calls it. I'm also in a whole bunch of one-shots all over the Twitch, including an Old Gods of Appalachia Tuesday stream on Zeal Zaddy's channel, which is really fun and just recently started, though I had to miss this week's episode because I was in a car accident. I am okay, but I had to miss it because I was in pain. But lots of stuff going on. Just pay attention to my socials and you'll find what's coming next. Thank you so much for letting me be here and spook you all. And thank you all for being so ready to be spooked and so into the weird.
Yes.
That's what makes this game so fun, is when everyone buys in.
No, we all
Thank
gave it
you.
our energy. Right. What we're going to do is that we're going to go hit a 15-minute break while we get things ready for the next session. Everybody stretch, go get water, enjoy the outside, but do stay on that line because we will be back with Just a Car, run by Joe. See you all in 15.